Welcome to the Turn Academy at Paradise Golf Course. This is for the week ending 12/28/2019. Take care. See this setup flaw quite common in younger golfers, where the lead side, or left side in this case, should be a straight line. The trail line's the straight line. So we'll clear that out, and where we'd like to see him is on a straight line here, which then would have put the handle of the club in his hands in front of the golf ball instead of behind the golf ball. He's actually tilting a little bit towards the target here, and he's going to exaggerate that as he goes back. He's going to tip even more down, so he's really falling down and not getting behind the ball at all. He's got a lot of flexibility here, but then the head, see how the head dives forward here? Now he's way past the golf ball. He's going to have to be hitting very steep on it in order to be able to contact the ball. Pulling up and out of the shot. His hands should be, about up in here at this point. He's going to scoop a little bit. There, he's got a nice rotation there. That's awesome. Very good move. So we can get him just to be a little more stable, get a little bit of forward press in the hands at setup, and then get this tilt so that the spine is tilted. And you can see right now it's straight up and down. The reason we tilt the spine is because the right hand is lower than the left hand. The right shoulder should be lower than the left shoulder, therefore the spine should be on a straight line. I put a circle here between around the hands and thighs of Ed. One of his early issues in his takeaway is his hands tend to move away from his thighs. So I'm going to just take it back really slowly manually here. See if we can see that happening in this particular swing. See it? See the gap widening, 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 widening. See, the shoulders really haven't rotated much, have they? The hands are just moving way out away from his body. So now he's in a over-the-top position. He can't get to a good spot here. When that club is parallel to the ground at this point now, it should be directly over his toe line here. It should be parallel to that toe line right there. You can see he's got a long ways to go. Now, if his hands had stayed right where they were, he'd be in a great place. But he's getting them out too far. Then he's going to come up, gets himself into a good position, and then he drops the club nicely into the slot, the handle, but he doesn't drop the head down. We'd like, at this point now, we'd like to see the shaft be on the same plane line that it was here at setup, only above it. So we're going to go back. He's going to go way outside the line, get very vertical in his takeaway, and then you can see he hasn't got that club leaning behind him. That club right here should be parallel to that trail arm. That would be more along in here. That club shaft would be that line right there. Then as he drops it down, he can throw it out. He's up and out of the shot, and that's why he has a tendency once in a while to hit the ball pretty wildly to the right. Here you'll see a golfer in a really good starting position. I like to see the club shaft and the spine be on about a 90-degree angle to each other, and you can see she's done that pretty closely there. And I don't know exactly where her hip is, but I usually try to put it about in the center of the shirt there. So that comes right up through the head, through the ear line. Very nice straight body, good back, and great hand position. She has a tendency, though, to bounce up and down a little bit. Let's go ahead and play this in slow motion. We'll see if she raises her head much above the line. Really good to this point here. Right there is where she gets up too much. So she lifts right up, and then she's going to cast the club a little over the top of the line, back down again, but not bad. The other thing we're going to look at in the future is how do we get rid of this elbow from flying out here? It should still be in front of her, sort of like it is here. See how both elbows are in front of her? When she gets to here, that left elbow pulls around behind her. So we're going to get her to be a little more stable, not bounce up and down so much, and then to try to really rotate that club face. Right now, that club face should almost be pointing behind her, maybe even a little bit towards the ground. You see it's still pointing to the sky, still pointing up, still hasn't rotated. Finally, in fact, it isn't even rotated yet. So we're really going to get her to rotate that club face. As we play this in slow motion, I think what you're going to notice mostly is how much upper body movement there is rather than just turning in place. It's the rotation of our body in place that shifts our weight from our right foot to our left foot, not a swaying back and forth of the upper body. The turn is what generates the power, creates the momentum for a good golf swing. I'll go ahead and go to the old 1/8 speed slow-mo. We've got his head in a circle. A little waggle there, that's a good thing. Keeps you relaxed. Let's see what's happening. Head moved down a little bit, not bad. Now we're going to see the motion. That's how he's locked in place. We stop it right there. We see we don't get really any rotation of the hips through impact. We'd like to see this rotating around here, where the right knee goes all the way to the left. He hasn't gotten anywhere near there. What should happen is I should be able to see the bottom of his right shoe at this point right here. So we got to get him to rotate in place to generate enough club head speed to get the distance that he's looking for. He's a pretty straight hitter. It just doesn't get up in the air or go very far. And he has a tendency to push it. Go straight, but it goes to the right. Let's take a look at the setup. I think the hands are too far behind the ball. I'd like to see the golf shaft more pointing up, maybe to the pectoral muscles or even to the armpit on the lead side. This is a scooping setup, especially with his right hand so far underneath the golf club. If we blow it up, you really can see that, how far underneath the golf club he is there. If he had a forward press and was able to flatten that hand out right in here, let's say right about, so this was a straight line instead of cupped, I think he'd be better off. Okay, let's go take it back down to the size that it was. Okay, now let's go ahead and do the old slow-mo. Look at all the movement. Look how far off the ball he's moving there. And back in, and scoops, and under, to a nice finish. But we got to get him to be a little less scoopy, get a little forward press going on there. See, there's where his hand is still all the way under the golf club. He can't generate any power there. The left elbow will fly out and around behind him, but he does get to a good finish. We're going to work a little bit on keeping him more stable and letting him rotate the club over to a better finish.